It oftentimes brings tears to my eyes to know that we as a people were treated as though we were less than human. We rose to the occasion to fight for the rights of all people.
I have a dream today.
And now we find ourselves engaged in yet another battle.
Voting is a civil right.
We're here for Stand for Freedom. We're rallying for voting rights in front of the UN. There are 25,000 people here saying, do not take our votes away.
The torrent of new voter suppression laws across the country.
There is what looks very much like a coordinated effort to pass laws making it significantly harder to vote.
The voter ID issue of having people go to the polls and have an ID card issued by the state or federal government has been the great problem. There would be millions of Americans disenfranchised. My mission is that all American citizens be given the right to vote. Are you a voter? Without intimidation. Y'all heard about the voter ID law? Without prejudice. We didn't have the ability to vote without discrimination. This is why we're out here struggling and fighting. That is my goal. Wonderful. Heart and lungs sound good. My name is Brenda Williams. I am a physician in family medicine in Sumter, South Carolina. I'm driving to help people get photo IDs to fight voter suppression so that they can vote. Mr. Raleigh. Hello, we're gonna come in. Hi, Mr. Raleigh, how are you today? Hey, this is Dr. Williams, good to see you, good to see you. Mr. Raleigh and many other senior citizens lack birth certificates because these persons have been born by midwives. The voter ID laws would make it very difficult, if not impossible, to him to vote.
You literally have to go back to the era of Jim Crow to find a time when so many states have tried to restrict access to the ballot box all at once.
Let them take our votes away.
Every time elections come, weekend voting, Sunday voting is also very crucial.
Sunday is the time senior citizens look forward to going to church. If Sunday voting will be limited, I will not be able to vote because I will have a ride because the car will pick me up and take me by the voting place and let me vote and take me home. But that Sunday voting, I will not have a ride.
Early voting is very helpful, particularly those individuals with medical problems that will not allow them to stand and to wait.
If early voting was eliminated, I would be affected by that. Because of my disability, I have 3 slip discs at the bottom of my back, and I got 2 at my neck. And I won't be able to stand in a long period of time in a long line.
They're coming after the right to vote to make it easier to take away so many other rights.
We got to keep fighting for our rights.
This is an awakening call for Americans to fight for those rights with all fervor, with every fiber that we have within us. And if we are truly America the Beautiful, we will do that. We will stand. We will stand.
The people's voice, what do you say?
Voting rights are here to stay.
USA, what do you say?
Voting rights are here to stay.
We are here to march. I will be here and I will stand every single time to stand with the NAACP and the Urban League and Charlie Rangel and Reverend Al Sharpton, who will be here, because we will not tolerate it. We will fight. We will stand for freedom.
We are here today because we will not forget what our people came through to get the right to vote. We are here today because in this moment, when our rights are being attacked across this country, we will not fail to fight to get our rights back. We are here today because we will not forfeit our vote to anyone.
If we have to raise our voices in New York, or if we have to raise our voices in North Carolina, or if we have to raise our voices in the state of Florida or on the West Coast, we will raise the voices because too many good people have died to give us the right to vote.
2 Jews and a black named Goodman, Cheney, and Swerner died to give us the right to vote. Jim and Lee Jackson died to give us the right to vote. Didn't nobody donate us the vote? Didn't nobody give us the vote? Didn't nobody just throw the vote at us? We fought to get it, and we're going to fight to keep it.
Like a coordinated effort among Republican legislatures and Republican governors to pass laws making it significantly harder to vote and harder to register to vote in this country. This year, Republican legislators have introduced bills that would diminish access to the voting booth in over 40 states. This is happening all across the country, and it is happening all at once.
According to a new report by the Brennan Center for Justice, voter suppression laws in states across the country could affect up to 5 million voters from traditionally Democratic demographics in 2012. These voter ID laws do not prevent fraud, and in fact, they do nothing other than suppress voter turnout. America has not seen this level of suppression since the days of poll taxes and literacy tests. More than 30 states introduced legislation this year, designed to impede voters at every step of the voting process. These laws do not combat fraud, but prevent millions of hard-working, tax-paying Americans, especially minorities, young voters, the working poor, people with disabilities, and senior citizens from casting ballots in 2012 and beyond, making this the most significant setback for voting rights in a century. Photo ID restrictions disenfranchise eligible registered voters. An estimated 11% of U.S. citizens, 21 million people, do not have current government-issued photo IDs. While poll taxes were abolished more than 60 years ago, this new slew of voter ID laws is reminiscent of the days when poll taxes were required, days which none of us want to revisit. It's not fair, it's not right, and it's simply un-American. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for all good men and women to come to the aid of their country.